Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Carrie, the nosy housefrau, and today I'm sticking my nose in on the fight Gabbie Hanna tried to hide from us. She didn't want us to know. She did everything in her power to make sure we never knew that this fight... Oops, there it is. How'd that get there? Gabbie Hanna uploaded the footage of her confronting Trisha about the tweets that she put out that completely contradicted Trisha's claim that she barely knew who Gabbie Hanna was. Not the first time we've seen Trisha do that, absolutely. What I'm hoping my little lampooning illustrates is that Gabbie Hanna did not hide this footage. She didn't hide this fight. She held on to it. And that's a very different thing. Kind of like it's not the same thing to say you want to be liked as being likable. And this is something that I notice with Gabbie. But first let me say, in the receipts that she brings up where she is confronting Trisha with things Trisha has said that completely contradict her tweets and vice versa, I believe she had every right to do that. I don't think Trisha's problems excuse her from being honest about someone. You cannot take it lightly when you make the kinds of statements she makes that are 100% false. Both of these women claim the other is obsessed with them, but I noticed when Trisha wasn't talking about Gabbie, it seemed to me she was doing everything she could to get people's attention. Gabbie has a habit of drumming up drama before releases. She's even admitted as much. I think it's really unfortunate that I find myself in the position to have to defend her when it comes to the receipts that she showed in this video. However, the timing of this, of course, has to do with Trisha's low approval rating, and Gabbie is very, very concerned with her public image. And I don't mean in an okay way where people just want to make sure they have the right reputation. I mean, if she's criticized, she becomes like a dog with a bone, even when she is 100% wrong. She does not address things like, let's say, following Twitter accounts that tell Dustin Daly, terrible things about his sister's passing, and actually saying that he should get shock therapy for being LGBTQ. Shock therapy. She was following accounts that were saying these horrific things to him, never once denouncing it. And this goes hand in hand with her telling her best friend that she's allowed to be with friends with whomever she wants, when one of them was the assailant, when she's at a party taking selfies with her friend's assailant and has no compassion or remorse for what her friend has been through, and in fact says that her friend owes her after all she's been through, and that she wants a public apology. She does this before. Remember, she did this before with someone else behind the scenes and said that she wanted a public retraction, and she really cares a lot about that. I could understand with Trisha Paytas saying, you've got this completely wrong and here's the proof. And it was cringy how wrong Trisha was. Like Trisha saying she doesn't know her, and then there's tweets like, every time we get together we don't get a selfie and it's really depressing. Like tweeting things like they're friends when they're not. Don't do that phony crap. And that's not okay. And then acting like, I was just being baseline nice. No matter what lie Gabbie caught her in, Trisha was just like, that's crazy. We'll just have to agree to disagree. And of course, Gabbie, in the moment, said that's gaslighting. She was prepared. Maybe not so much with the receipts, but she knew that she was going to put Trisha on the hot seat. Something she herself is never willing to be on. She will not address things that she has absolutely positively done wrong, but she was going to skewer Trisha. And then to say that she's hidden these things when she waits until Trisha's popularity is at an all-time low to bring it out, that's disingenuous as well. It is very obvious to me that this person wants to be like, and I'm going to give you another example. These guys got together, and as disgusting as it is, and I don't condone it, they were talking about how they wouldn't be with Gabbie. Do you remember this? And then she goes to a party and confronts the guy who said he wasn't interested in her, that she wasn't his type. She puts her arm around him and was like, oh yeah, you'd F, I'm cleaning it up, it's a family show kind of. And she's like, oh yeah, you'd do it, you'd F. And I'm thinking, get your dang hands off of him. If a guy was doing this to a woman, he'd be like criminal. People would be like, what are you doing? She's hanging on this person. She's grabbing him. What the hell is wrong with you? Keep your hands to yourself. Just because it's a guy doesn't mean you get to grope him. But people just sort of suppose that a young man would welcome attention like that. And that is not okay. That is not the case. You have every right as a male to say, you don't put your hands on me without my permission. And I just didn't like that at all. And I thought it was ridiculously immature that she was so fixated on it, that she would comfort people. And there's footage of her saying she would never, ever, rally her troops or whatever, or, weaponize her followers. But then there's Discord conversations where she's had with people telling them to do exactly that. And people saying they were going to come for Dustin. And never once did I see her say, you know what, I don't like the guy, but he's just suffered a huge loss. And also, I don't like homophobic kind of comments. Please don't do that in my name. Please show me where that's happened. To all of her followers, this isn't me getting anything twisted. This is factual, documented things you can look up. According to Gabbie, she just wanted Trisha to leave her alone. But I remember there was a time when Trisha wasn't talking about her and she continually talked about Trisha. That's not the behavior of someone who just wants to be left alone. If you want people to leave you alone, you have to leave them alone too. This is just my personal opinion. I don't know if you like Gabbie or don't like Gabbie. That's up to you. But I find her to be completely devoid of empathy, to a creepy degree, to a sociopathic degree. There's something wrong when you keep saying anyone who criticizes you is a narcissistic abuser. That's a stupid term anyway. Wasn't she a psych major? Who the hell goes around saying people are narcissistic abusers? I was a psych major. We never once said that. I mean, you can be narcissistic, you can be an abuser, and occasionally you're going to come across a narcissist who's abusive. That's kind of part of the territory. But to call people narcissistic abuser like that's some clinical term sounds idiotic. And if she's a psych major, she would know that that's not actually really common. Just like a sociopath. They're not common. They're just common on YouTube, apparently. And anybody who criticizes Gabbie is a narcissistic abuser. I guess I'm a narcissistic abuser. Put it on a mug and sell me the hoodie. In her latest I'm Not Gonna Be Ignored stints, Gabbie keeps putting up little blurbs of her. One says, it's great losing your mind or something, and she's just doing these weird gesticulations while she's singing really loud enough to harm her voice, as if she has these truly powerful pipes, but I think she's overdoing it and would sound a lot better if she brought it down a notch instead of just screaming into the mirror hallelujah. I will say this, she can carry a tune. She's straining and just yelling, but if she could just rein that in a bit, she would sound a lot better. I don't dislike her voice. I think she definitely is not wrong when she says that she can sing and Trisha Paytas can't sing. But that's a little like taking a bazooka to a knife fight. Trisha Paytas is completely tone deaf. Gabbie Hanna is not, and that's just a fact. That doesn't make her a better person. That just makes her a better singer. Congratulations. But the over-the-top, contorting herself and moving back and forth, like she just thinks she's this behind-the-music true artist because she's contorting her face. I made that face too when I was giving birth. But getting back to her conversation with one of her dear friends, Jessie Smiles. Gabbie's exchanges with her, particularly the last ones, are jaw-dropping in their lack of empathy from Gabbie. At one point, I think we all probably have seen this by now, but Jessie has to hang up because she's getting emotional and crying. And you never feel anything from Gabbie that matters to her. Gabbie is so concerned with how she's coming across. She is not able to say to her friend, I feel bad. She just doesn't. She's more concerned with points, her points. All of the people she thinks she's friends with too. This is why I don't like that I have to defend her with the Trisha lies, because she didn't want to be Trisha's friend. She collects allies. She wants people to like her. She wants to be popular. That is not the same thing as genuinely having friendships that she claims to have. She has these very perfunctory, quick exchanges with people and then tosses the word friend around because she's being strategic at all times. She doesn't have any need for people that would require liking them and being genuine. This is why they say you can't fake sincerity, because she's not being sincere when she says she thought this was a friendship. Look at how many people adore Gabbie, but she wanted to be friends with Trisha Paytas. Does Trisha Paytas strike you as someone who looks forward to having a girls' night and is looking for friends? No. And Trisha Paytas knew probably that a lot of people are trying to get close to her inner circle and getting to know her because they think it can give them clout on YouTube. It certainly couldn't hurt to cast a wide net. And that's why I think it's strategic. And I think Gabbie is free and loose with the term friend. What do you think? Am I right about my sense that Gabbie lacks empathy? Do I have her wrong? I don't think so. I saw how she stood by and allowed people to attack Dustin Daly and other people that she didn't like. And I don't know anybody else who would do that. I've seen people who really dislike each other, but they draw the line somewhere. They go, whoa, whoa, I don't wish ill on that person. I don't want to, let's not be that hateful. But I didn't see that from her. And more, when she speaks, I see a lack of empathy, calling everyone a narcissistic abuser, and now trying to go for the crazy coin by doing the same trolling that Trisha does. So, she's a fan of Trisha's. I mean, that to me is evident. What do you guys think? I look forward to your comments as always. These were just some random thoughts I had, unscripted, and I just wanted to address that while it was fresh in my mind because I had been watching that video. Thank you so much if you've listened this far. I do want to add, for the couple of people who have felt a need to say this here and there, not a lot, Trisha Paytas does go by they, them, but she also goes by she, her, and she has said that across social media. Update, I decided to do a Twitter search just to confirm. And even though it's across different bios that they say they go by she, her, they also tweeted out very recently that she, her is something they prefer family only say. So henceforth, because I cannot do this entire vlog over again, I'm dragging as it is, I will apologize because we're not about misgendering people on this channel. Whether or not they are non-binary like a fox is neither here nor there. We would like to respect, of course, people's chosen pronouns. I'd like to see a society where we can do that and be more tolerant and be more adaptable to what makes people comfortable, regardless of what we identify as ourselves. So, they, Trisha, will be a they, them on this channel from now on, and I'll just say I own it. I own my mistakes. I always do. Also, even if it changes and they decide to go back, I think we're going to go with what they prefer. So there's that. And even though you can comment whatever you like, I would so appreciate it if comments were not so much about this issue as the Gabbie Hanna sit down. I'd like to hear your observations on that, about these two people who sat down not so much to mend fences as to campaign for themselves and say, you're worse than I am. Thank you so much if you've listened this far. I really look forward to our interactions down below. Some of you, I've said it before, I'll say it again, some of your comments are better than my entire vlog, and I really appreciate you. Thank you for your insights and for engaging. It really means a lot to me, and it would really help me out if you would be so kind as to give a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and this time I mean it. Hausfrau out.